Welcome friends, it's your boy Kev, and today I'm going to be talking about a particularly spicy topic, secret societies at Yale University. Okay, I've written down some very common questions. How do you get into a secret society? How many of them are there? Which part is secret? How does the tap process actually work? Do you have to pay? What's the commitment level? What are some of your favorite memories? What's your experience like? I will be breaking down and answering all of these questions in this video and more. Alright, let's start off with the basic info. How many secret societies are there at Yale? According to this 2017 article that I just read before I hit the record button, there were about 40. I actually think there's more now. Seniors have recently just been starting their own societies if they didn't get into one or if they didn't like the culture of existing societies. So probably 50 to 60, which also matches the number of seniors, the percentage of seniors who are in secret societies. Typically, secret societies are 1-year societies, although there are some 2-year, I think there might be a 3-year, 2.5-year society at Yale. But yeah, mainly 1-year senior secret societies. So I think about 40% or maybe 50% of seniors are a part of a society. But as it turns out, not everyone sticks with it because it's a very heavy, very large time commitment. You hang out with a group of usually 15 other people for 2 nights a week, and sometimes it lasts the whole night from like 6 p.m. all the way until midnight or more. And sometimes there are even additional activities that take place during the weekend. You have to talk to alumni or there's a retreat and things like that. And because of the nature of secret societies, you're put into this group, right, with 15 other people. You may or may not like them. And so some people end up deciding that the effort isn't worth it and will just drop and hang out with people that they already know, they already like. Some of the more famous secret societies include Skull and Bones, Scroll and Key, Wolf's Head, the Elizabethan Club, and yeah, I think that because there are so many notable wealthy alumni, the actual endowment and the trusts are actually quite large as well, in the millions of dollars range we're talking about. And these very wealthy societies are called landed societies because they have their own tomb or building on campus, and some of them have private chefs. They have dining halls or dining areas kind of inside. So yeah, they're pretty exquisite, guys. Which part is secret? Well, the secret societies used to be like really secret. Like you didn't know who was in what society. You didn't know what happened in the society. You didn't even know where the society was. Nah, I'm kidding. The buildings are pretty big on campus, so it's kind of hard to miss. These days, what's not secret is who is in what society. Pretty much everyone openly shares, and they are like, oh, you're in Leviathan, you're in Spade and Grave, which is a society I was a part of. Do you know so-and-so? I heard they're also in Spade and Grave. Ah, yes, they're such a wonderful human being. And it's actually a fun way to play this kind of mutual friend game and end up with more acquaintances, more buddies by the time you graduate from Yale. So who is in the society? That's not secret at all. Where the society is, that's also not secret. What is secret though is the tap process. And after you're chosen, the customs, the traditions that happen, as well as what goes on inside of the tomb is usually secret. Some people don't even allow guests inside of the house unless there's very special circumstances. And in our society, we shared our life stories. It was something called an autobiographical society, or a bio society for short. And obviously I wouldn't go around spewing the secrets of my fellow society members and just sharing their life story with strangers. That is totally not allowed. That is in fact the most sacred part of the society experience, which is like what happens in the house kind of stays in the house. Again, these rules vary from society to society, but that's how we read it back in my day. So yeah, speaking of TAP is the process in which juniors are selected to be a part of the secret society. Now, some TAP processes are really secret. Others are a little bit more open, but generally speaking, I would say they do revolve around some sort of interview. People want to get to know you on a more human level, and it's tough. Sometimes there's just one interview. Sometimes there are 2 or 3 interviews. It depends on the society. They have multiple rounds and they'll funnel you. So typically, each person who is in the society who's a senior will get to select 3 to 5. It depends on the society, how many juniors you get to select, but for us it was like 3 to 5, and then you kind of have this list and whittle it down. We did interviews. That's pretty much all I'll share for now, but I guess I could talk about another society's interview. Yeah, that should be fine. All right, so I remember I went to one society. The name is not important, but anyways, they led me to this table, and there was about like 10 people sitting all around me, and so there was a side table. So I went to the side table, and they were like, okay, pick an object. So I picked an object, and it ended up being this like beer dispenser thing. I actually thought it was a bong. It was not a bong. It was, anyways. I brought it to the main table, and they're like, okay, Kevin, please sell me this item. And so I made up this really elaborate story about how like when my dad came to America, he had this beer object dispenser. It was actually his boss's, and he stole this from his boss because his boss was being mean to him at work. And I told him it was like a sacred family object, and basically it wasn't for sale. So I was pretty proud of this, guys. Natural born salesman, Kevin. And so this guy was like, all right, how much do you want for it? And I was like, it's not for sale. And they're like, well, you got to give me a dollar amount. I was like, I guess if I were to give you a dollar amount, maybe I could sell it to you for like $500. And this dude was like, what? $500? No way. How about 100? I was like, this is a sacred family object, and you're asking me to hand this over for cold hard cash? I shouldn't even be talking to you. And anyways, we went back and forth. He was like 500. He was like 200, and I was like, no, 500. 250. I was like, no, 500. I'm leaving. And so he actually said he would give me $500 for it. That was really fun, and everyone was laughing about that. But yeah, they'll ask other kinds of questions, like, tell me something you've never told anyone before, or when was the last time you cried? Or like very intimate questions like that. Some of them do, an interview where it's like you and one other person from the society. Or they'll be like, hey, can you teach me something? So I would taught them how to do a baby freeze, break dance. And then some societies, everyone interviews that one person. So 16 people interrogating one person across the table in a wooden chair. Again, procedures may vary from group to group. I have a few other questions written down. Do you have to pay? Yes. I'm pretty sure most societies ask you to pay. That's how they fund, our drinking habits. I don't remember the exact amount for us, but I think it was a couple $100s per semester. And then whatever you didn't spend, you could, is just kind of redistributed back to the society members. We also use the funds to do retreat. That's something I can definitely talk about. Basically, you drive off to some Airbnb and you guys hang out together, eat together, drink together, play together, get to know each other. There's usually one in the fall and one in the spring. Oh man, fall retreat. What a blast. The secret society that I was a part of, we met every Thursday and Sunday. Sometimes we would have little outings. We'd have mixers with other societies. We would dance together, party together, and sometimes we would just go out on little outings. We would eat at a little nice restaurant, and yeah, it was just a really wonderful way to get to know students that you normally would have never had the chance to interact with. Like for instance, my secret society had a lot of athletes. And the thing about athletes at Yale is that they work super duper hard, heads down, wake up early. You usually don't even see them because they're out during the weekends and they're training so hard. So a lot of athletes don't even get a chance to participate in normal extracurricular activities like clubs and things like that. We had a lot of captains of, sports teams who were in our society. We also had heads of people who led like frats and sororities in our society, and that just wasn't a part of Yale that I was previously exposed to. So I thought it was really, really awesome to get to know them on a human level. Like I said, we shared our entire life stories, so that process sometimes would take 3 hours, 3 to 5 hours. And on the nights that we weren't being vulnerable, getting to know each other and pulling at each other's heartstrings, we would be partying, usually drinking, dancing together. Sometimes we just had like very wholesome experiences. Like I really like to cook, so I would cook a meal for like all of the society members, and then we would go and hang out and that sort of thing. I think it was probably one of the best experiences I've ever had in my entire life. I got really, really close with my society members. Like I didn't think that I would be meeting such great friends so close to the end of my Yale career. I don't want to say career, Yale experience. I think a few of my really best friends I met during those last few months. And man, what I'd give to keep hanging out with them again. Criticisms of the secret society system. Some people say that's very exclusive. I don't think that's particularly true. In fact, when they're tapping juniors, there's like a Google Doc, a Google Excel spreadsheet that's sent out to all the seniors, and they can see which societies are picking which juniors, because you don't want to have a case where it's like, 20 societies picking this one person. In that case, we might as well focus on another person. Chances are they're not going to pick us back, right? So one very popular junior could get bids, could get taps from lots of different societies and they can only pick one. And in that case, sometimes what happens at the end of the tap process is people are really scrambling because you thought that those juniors would say yes to the society. For some reason, they picked another one. They didn't want to be a part of your society. And so now you're scrambling and you have to find people to fill those spots. I would say like most seniors, if you want to be a part of a society, chances are you can be a part of a society where they're not like trying to exclude you. In fact, they're trying to include you. Generally speaking, the society experience has been told to be very white and wealthy. And I found that to be partly true in our case, although our society really values diversity and made a deliberate effort to try to include people from different socioeconomic backgrounds, people from different racial and ethnic backgrounds. That can be kind of hard too. Now that I know, we were picking juniors for the year after us, and it's kind of hard. Like, how do you know if someone's poor? Like, how do you figure that out? You can't really ask. You like kind of know the person, but sometimes you don't really know the junior underneath, right? Sometimes you pick your friends, sometimes you pick someone who you think would be just like a great fit for your society and who shares those core values. It really is kind of tricky. I don't have like a clear-cut answer. I don't think it's so simple, but it was a challenge that we faced. I hope you guys found this video helpful. Let me know if you have any questions in the comment section below. I am constantly rooting for you guys. Your success is my success. Take it easy. I'll catch you guys at the next one. Peace.